right. Well, time for another weekly update, and things are moving right along with Bitcoin as really we predicted last week on our prior weekly update. And if you watch that, you'll see we've been tracking this small crab pattern. We tapped completion point. I didn't short this due to some flat momentum here at the top. Suppose I should have because we came down, hit our first target, and then what I was really looking for was a test on this value area low. And I'll pull up our ATR band. We were talking about testing that ATR band again. You see it came down and just tagged it. That so far is a successful test. So hitting a little resistance here on our anchored VWAP, and we've shifted our range point of control from our overall range up a little, or sorry, down a little bit. It was here. I'm going to leave this one posted as our prior range point of control, and that could change again if we get back up here. But we have a new one here and just about came up and tagged that. So if we can climb above this, I still expect a rotation to our range value area high up here at 70,300. Between that and that and 70,000. So we took a smaller trade here on our first entry point for a little bit of a scalp. We've already taken our first profit. So we entered right above the value area low at 60,135. Took our first profit at what's that blue line here? It was 62,380. And hopefully we can run it up. I'd like to run it all the way up to here at 64,648. That'll complete the scalp. We also entered into zone, and we're just above it now for a bit of a more of a swing trade position. So we've already entered that position below 61,070. I have another entry area I'd be interested in if we came back down, because we do have the possibility of coming up, hitting this range, finishing out this smaller play we did over the week, and rolling back over for another low, sort of in 1, 2, 3 wave drop. That second area I'm looking to pick up and buy into our swing long is below 57,831, at or below that point. I'd like to see support hit, especially around 57,322, but we'll see if we can get down into that range. And it looks like we're starting to show support. I'd like to add to my swing long and then take that up to this bearish butterfly pattern we had talked about last week, all the way up to 75,687. We could go much higher than that, but that would complete a majority of my swing trade. It would obviously complete our smaller scalp position that's already done quite well. So that's what I'm looking for in Bitcoin. Let's go to a slightly cleaner chart, or we can kind of identify some other areas that we've been looking at. If we go lower and drop below this support box, if we fall into here, I'm not liking that as much. I have a stop for my swing under 55. I don't want to run it quite that low. I'd like to see it stay above this. And let's put this box up a little bit since we came a little higher than I had anticipated. So we'll take that as our support box. And below there, I would assume we'd come down, take out this low, maybe hit this major area of support. This is in case we get real bearish in the meantime, and run down between 46 and 42,000. I'd very, very much be interested in looking to accumulate or to make some purchases in that area. Do still have targets up here between 80 and 89 and even higher. So, but that only accounts if we don't make a new low. If we come up from here, I think that'd be a good area to target. If we sweep this liquidity at the high, 73,949, maybe pop up into this area. We could blow through it. That'd be great. Look, I'm all for bullish action. I just like to play the direction in the charts that I see. Again, you can see here on the daily, we've hit, which we did tag here into a false symbol, but it got us back up to our 886. We have tagged here, but we haven't hit our 886 yet. So it'd be interesting to see if we come up and do that again. We look at our wave count, and yeah, if this is the bottom of 4, and it could be, then again, we're looking around that 90,000 all the way up, even to 125. So 90, those mid to low 90s, especially 90,000, this is going to be very, very important targets on a lot of our charts. Pull up a weekly and see how the ATR is doing on the weekly. But I don't think, yeah, it's not doing bad. I mean, it's still bullish. It hasn't not been bullish on the ATR band since we really started to fly up here. That band shifted at about 27,000 as we got our EMA cross, and then band shift happened at around 27,000, and we just went from there all the way up to 70. So, all right, let's hit some other assets. We can see the SPY. We came down, but we didn't quite hit our area of interest, and pull in a little tighter on that. We had thought that we'd perhaps come down and tag our line here at 561. Didn't quite get there. It looks like it's coming back up. We just kind of keep climbing this 13 EMA, which is fine. It can do that. I don't mind. We got plenty of room to go on the SPY before I consider this to be a rollover point. So, or past its rollover point. A long way to go for it to pass that for the size of the pattern we're tracking. Qs as well, the Qs never really got back to their prior highs, at least not yet. I would like to see that happen. I really think that this bearish butterfly that we're tracking could be a great rollover indicator. And then the Dow has been, look, if the Dow keeps breaking new highs, we're going to have to call some of these patterns invalid. This has to be a high, and it looks like it's coming back up to take it. It may extend and may extend further. At that point, we don't have reliable pattern on the Dow anymore. It went too much. Doesn't mean we can't track the other indices and that this won't roll over too. It's just not giving us that pattern validation that the others are. So far, like, just as we talked about earlier, I mean, these are the points we're looking at on the Qs. 524.66, that hasn't changed. And on the SPY, I don't have that same pattern. Let me check the ES. We do have a little more pattern support in the ES. So if we take the ES up to 6,090, that'd be, that'd be the next area I'm watching. So we still have, I feel like, a long way to go. And this could drag us not just through November, but even into the end of the year. And maybe we just have a bullish end of the year. It is an election cycle. It's not uncommon. Again, we hop up here at 61.92, and we're starting to reach invalidation at 6,275, 74 and some change. So that gives us plenty of room to work out these larger patterns. That drop may not be here yet. It's just, it's just the nature of the beast. I don't know what else to tell you. We go to our drop chart. You can see unemployment has been decreasing, and we won't get that drop until unemployment starts to roll up. Unemployment is currently the name of the game. That's what you should be watching. It's what I'm watching on all the reports, because when those reports start to come out in an upward trajectory, that's when you combine it with these lowered interest rates to really bring that that rollover chance down. So I think it's also tied in with that SOM rule. So the farther down we bleed, the more the SOM rule indicator could just be a false indication, maybe the first false indication. So do have, you can see, we're high on our oscillators, so we do have that momentum possibly getting us to roll down. But indicators are just indications of things to watch out for. We continue to climb, and even with pattern support and with indicators cooked, we need to wait for that last bit of confluence and till the story is there. And then when the story is there and appropriate, that's when we take action. We've lost September. We're already losing October. It's not far done yet, but we're almost a week in. We've started our decline here on our interest rates, so we've got that going. But we just don't have. You see, as these are falling, so is unemployment, and until that number rises and spooks the market, nothing's broken just yet. And we're still waiting for that final snap, that final break. And it can give us time. I mean, you didn't see unemployment rise. This was COVID. It's a little different. Even here, though, unemployment was flat, and the market didn't drop right after the first cut. We didn't cut here until unemployment started to climb already. The markets were already a bit spooked and started to head down. But then again, we also had outside factors: the tech bubble burst, financial bubble burst. COVID here. What do we have going for us right now other than possibly a debt bubble? So it'll just be interesting to see what happens, when it happens, how it happens. We don't have that information yet. So I'm not going to be super bearish on the market just yet. I can see it. I can see the indications. The indicators are there. They can all flash, but until price action agrees with the indicators don't mean anything other than to keep an eye on it. So that's what we'll do. Until then, I know it's patience, 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 but that's the name of the game. That's what trading is. So anyway, you guys have anything you want to see, anything you want to talk about, hit me up. You can drop it in the comments here on the weekly update, or hit me up in the Discord. All the links are in the description. I will see you guys again next time. And yeah, have a good week.